Hey guys, welcome back. It's Monique Rochelle. I am the owner of Bold by Monique, an e-commerce jewelry brand, but you can tell by the title, I've decided to close my business. I'm actually kind of excited about what's going to happen next, and we'll kind of get into everything. I don't even know where to start. I've kept you guys out the loop for a few years now. For those of you who don't know my backstory, I started my jewelry business in 2019. I kind of documented my move to Dallas and then starting the business then. Our business completely took off in 2020. And we were a couple thousand shy of hitting 500,000 in revenue, and everything was going great. I was working with marketing agencies. We were constantly putting out content, and it was just a good time. And 2022, we got super close to that 500K mark. And then 2023, we had just grown so fast. It was a lot. I had 3 employees in 2023. I was working with a PR agency, and we were in magazines, and we were just doing really well. But I had this gut feeling to scale it back a notch. And then, so 2023, I let go of my PR agency, let go of the marketing agency, and then one of my fulfillment managers, she actually put in notice that she had to step away due to her commitments with her family. And then that Monday, it was, what was it, February 2023. I had always worked a full-time job too. And that Monday I got laid off my full-time job. So I was like, okay, God, you did not want me to have the burden of carrying all this extra weight. My full-time job has always paid for my bills, and I get paid, I'm a contractor, so I get paid weekly, and it was just always there to make sure me, Monique, was okay, no matter what was happening within the business. I still had my business, and we kept pushing. I was doing my own ads, and we made it through 2023. And so I got another full-time job, my full-time job hired me back, and was it at the end of the year. And so I went back to work. And when I went back to work, I actually fell in love with my full-time job. I work in music entertainment, and I absolutely love what I do. I love who I hire. I'm a recruiter, a corporate recruiter. And so I was just working on so many cool things, and I kind of fell in love with my full-time job. And my business was always around. I was always still selling. But I will say, after doing my business full-time while I was unemployed, I completely burnt out. I was so burnt out. This was my schedule. I would wake up, I would plan what kind of content I was going to shoot for the day. I would do all my stories. I would do my reels. And then after I would do all of the social media stuff, I would pack orders. And I did that every single day. And I tried to have Saturdays and Sundays off, but I don't know. It's if you don't post, then the algorithm just requires more momentum. And it was such a game, and I was hustling, and we were still doing between 25,000 a month to 30,000 a month, even with me not having the ad agency and stuff. So I was packing tons of orders. I was still receiving the volume. It was just that I was so burnt out. By the time my job hired me back, I was let me just sit at this computer and do my work. And it was just a relief. I was just so burnt out. And then 2024, we moved into an apartment that I absolutely hated. We were at the National in downtown Dallas, and it was just very gloomy. It was very gloomy there, and I think that was the start of me needing vitamin D, honestly, too. So now my hormones are regulated. It was very gloomy. I was uninspired, so I just kept doing my best with my 9 to 5. And also that year, I was working with social media teams that was constantly, doing my pictures. Now, when my social media team did my pictures, they would batch create all of my assets, and then I would post throughout the month. They decided to close their business, therefore I did not receive as much content. And without me receiving content, I was not posting. You can kind of see like the decline of my business going on the back burner. Around that time, we were doing maybe between 15,000 to about 22,000 a month. It was consistent, revenue was still flowing, it wasn't as good, but it was fine. That leads us to kind of 2025 last year. Last year was kind of my turning point where I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And I was starting to figure out what the next steps were. Was I gonna, hold on to my business? Was I gonna sell it? Was I going, I just didn't know. So May of last year, the tariffs were put in place. And the tariffs messed me up so bad. In years past, I do, major buying. I'll buy before the Chinese New Year. So before the Chinese New Year, and then I'll plan my summer stuff, and then we plan for Black Friday and Christmas. And that's typically my flow. And the tariffs hit, I think it was in April. I had already purchased before Chinese New Year. And the tariffs hit, so during that time, there was mass panic, and everybody was trying to get their orders in because starting, I think it was May 1st, the tariff rate would be 145% to ship to the USA. All I could do was, I was like, I cannot pay 145% on top of what we're already paying. That's crazy. So I took my savings and I bought hella packaging and hella inventory to last me to October-ish. And that's not how I typically plan our buying. And I did that. We ended up selling a good amount of it, but I had so much inventory I had too much inventory, and I spent all of our reserves too soon. It threw my flow off completely, and I did not know where to go from there. So adding tariffs adding that extra expense where it wasn't there before, I did not raise my prices for my customers because people are struggling, and I just felt like my affirmation rings, people need this, people need these reminders, and I just did not want to raise my prices. In hindsight, should I have done that? Probably. But I have no regrets. I made the decision around Thanksgiving to start thinking about options about where we're going to go next. I started reaching out to business brokers to see if they could evaluate my business and what I could get out of it. By the time I reached out to business brokers to evaluate my business, though, I had completely stopped putting energy into creating new products, bringing new things to the shop. I was just packing orders of what we had available. And so then my revenue was anywhere from 13,000 a month to 18,000. So you can see the slow decline. When we got our valuation back, it was low. And I know that I built it up. We could have gotten such a higher number. We could have gotten in over 700,000 if I would have kept it up, or if I would have sold when times were good. So if you're planning on selling your business, sell when times are good, because that's when you get a good valuation. So my valuation came in low. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna try to stick it out. Y'all, I couldn't stick it out. I would just tell you this right now. I am so burnt out. I think it was in May, I just decided to close in June. I liquidated most of my inventory, but as you see, we still have a lot of inventory. So if you want to start your business and you want to sell products that I know sell, please definitely reach out to me, because I am trying to get rid of this entire wall. And even if you're in the Dallas area as well, and if you need acrylic containers and you're in Dallas, let me know, because we are about to turn this into my own little studio. Now, what my plan is now, though, is we are going to relaunch on Amazon. My herringbone necklaces do really well, and we're just going to keep a few of our best sellers, and I'm going to make those available on Amazon. And I feel like that's still a way that people can still gift the affirmation rings and the encouraging messages, but it won't have me in the everyday logistics of the business. So automating is something that I'm gonna do next. As far as like Bold by Monique as we know it, it's probably not going to be the same. What's going to happen for me next? So right now, I'm actually having fun making my own like personal content. I feel like once you start making money on the internet one way, there's it just opens and expands your mind to different ways to bring in additional revenue. I'm really into fashion, I'm really into home decor, and I really want to lean into that in my next phase of entrepreneurship. I have worked with like Ruggable, and I've worked with like Rugs USA. I'm kind of getting my feet wet into like the whole content creation space. So I'm actually learning so much about, you know, doing content creation for other businesses instead of, you know, my business. And I'm having fun with it. Like, I feel like my business was such a great chapter. I learned so much. We crossed millions of dollars in revenue. Like, that's wild to me. Like, I want to try something different. Yeah, I kind of want some peace. I just want to be like creative and do something different right now. But I think I'm going to document it and let me know if you guys want to see that journey. The ways I'm monetizing now is through like ShopMy, through Amazon Associates. I got a few TikTok shop orders. Like, so we're just bringing in money different ways. And I think it's so interesting, all the ways that you can make money online. And I still think that starting a jewelry business in 2026 is possible. For me, I'm burnt out. But for you, I still want to provide knowledge because there is a way to be successful. If you guys are interested in any of my leftover inventory, please reach out. If you're interested in any of the cases, they're linked in my Amazon storefront. And if you want to use my vendors, my vendor list is also in my Sand store. I also have a budget template that we'll be going through. I'm gonna start tracking how much money I'm making in different areas. And so we'll be still talking about like side hustles and starting businesses, but it's just in a different capacity. But yeah, I'm happy, y'all. I don't know if y'all can tell. I'm so happy, I feel relieved. Here's to a new journey, and I will talk to you guys later.